but we'll begin with some breaking news from the United States. A man wrongly deported to his native El Salvador from Maryland by the Trump administration is now on his way back to the US, where he'll face criminal charges for transporting undocumented migrants. Kilmar Abrego Garcia was accused by the White House of being a gang member. He's always denied the claims and has never been convicted of any crime. He was deported to El Salvador's notorious terrorism confinement center prison with other alleged gang members. Now, the Trump administration later admitted that Mr. Abrego Garcia's deportation was an administrative error, but refused to bring him back, despite the Supreme Court ordering the White House to facilitate his return. Let's get more on this from our Washington correspondent, Benjamin Alvarez-Gruber. Welcome, Ben. What more do we know?
So Kilmar Ábrego Garcia, this man from El Salvador that was mistakenly deported to Secot, the high security jail in El Salvador, is on his way back to the United States. That's according to several media reports. ABC News is saying that, CNN also quoting on one side sources familiar with the matter and law enforcement officials. These reports are saying that he will face criminal charges here in the US for allegedly transporting undocumented migrants within the country, within the United States. There is a 2-count indictment which was filed under seal in federal court in Tennessee last month that alleges that the 29-year-old participated in a long-year conspiracy to haul undocumented migrants from Texas to the interior of the country, according to several sources that were briefed here. But I think we need to look at the bigger picture here, because it was the Trump administration that admitted that it mistakenly deported Abrego Garcia from Maryland, where he was living with the family, to El Salvador. This went up to the Supreme Court, with the country's highest court saying that the White House should facilitate, that's what they say, facilitate its return, something they have until now refused to do so. To put it more plainly, after months, you could say, of outright defiance of court orders, and many boast that Kilmar Ábrego Garcia was not coming back. He is allegedly coming back, and maybe he will be found guilty of these charges, maybe not. Either way, he will get what he was denied all this time, and that's due process.
Okay, so as far as we know, the charges he will face transporting undocumented migrants, but that's not why he was deported. Remind us why he was deported.
That's right. Kilmar Ábrego Garcia was accused of being a gang member. There was a lot of discussion surrounding it. They presented pictures saying that he met with gang members on a parking lot. Also, there were tattoos that were pointed at. We looked into old documents when he was once interrogated by police, saying that he wore a cap of one of the baseball teams, saying that he was a high leader then. There have been, of course, a lot of controversy. Many high-ranking officials of the Trump administration have been pressed over and over again. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, President Trump himself. There was also a meeting that he held with Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador, where Bukele was also asked, would you send him back? And he was like, I cannot smuggle a terrorist, that's what he called Ábrego Garcia, back into the United States. But this goes, of course, into a wider picture. It's not just the case of Kilmar Ábrego Garcia. We also did a story recently about another man whose lawyer is saying that he was deported due to his tattoo. So this it gives the administration, or gave the administration, this possibility of this fast-track deportations to El Salvador, a country that has strong ties right now with the Trump administration. Marco Rubio was there, and several high-ranking Trump officials have been to that jail too. One of them also Kristi Noem, and also many members of Congress. So we actually expect many more reactions here from Washington, and following closely what will happen here once Kilmar Ábrego Garcia returns to the United States.
Okay, thanks for that, Ben. Benjamin Alvarez-Gruber in Washington.